Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're doing something a little bit different. We're taking an incredibly ordinary, everyday event and revealing it for what it truly is, a high-stakes developmental micro-epic. Seriously, have you ever watched kids play and thought, it's just noise and chaos? Well, get ready to completely change your perspective. We're going to deconstruct a simple playdate scenario, a little script we call the Secret Clubhouse Adventure, and show you the profound psychological and social milestones happening right beneath the surface. It is absolutely fascinating once you know exactly what to look for. Okay, let's dive into this. Because when we ask what makes the perfect playdate, we aren't just talking about keeping kids busy for an hour. No, we're talking about creating a vibrant, highly responsive environment where complex social dynamics can safely unfold. I want you to imagine a bright, colorful indoor playroom. It's filled with soft pillows, a massive pile of cardboard blocks, and this giant cardboard box that is just waiting to become a spaceship. This isn't just a room, right? It's literally a laboratory for human development. And right into this laboratory steps our protagonist, and he is setting a massive, ambitious goal. Picture this, 6-year-old Leo marching into the room wearing his superhero cape, arms waving in the air, and he announces, "I want to build a giant rocket ship to the moon." Now, this is the inciting incident of our microepic. It's not just a cute thing a kid says, it's a declaration of purpose. It's a massive exercise in imagination, and it immediately sets a collaborative agenda for the entire day. Section 1. Meet the Explorers. Let's quickly introduce our Clubhouse crew to see how this moon mission actually gets accomplished. So, our crew consists of 3 key figures. First, we have Leo. He's super enthusiastic, but he actually starts the day with a physical challenge. He groans, holds his tummy, and says he's exhausted from staying up late stargazing. Then we have Maya. She's kind, and she loves building tall towers. And notice her immediate emotional baseline here. She smiles brightly and validates Leo right away. She tells him it's totally okay that he's tired and suggests they take a rest first. That kind of instant empathy, that is a huge developmental milestone. And finally, we have Barnaby the bear, the big, fluffy facilitator who gently guides the day from behind the couch. Section 2. The power of teamwork. With the team fully assembled, they're about to face their first major challenge. Now, what's really interesting here is how Leo handles an obstacle. He tries to lift this huge, heavy blue cardboard block all by himself, and he wobbles. But instead of getting frustrated or just giving up, which happens a lot, right? He actually recognizes his physical limits and actively asks for help. He says, "Oof, this is too heavy. Can you help me, please, Maya?" Doing that requires a surprising amount of self-awareness, communication skills, and real trust in his peer. Honestly, this sequence right here, it's basically the Apollo 11 moon landing of early childhood development. It's a masterclass in structured physical momentum. Step 1, the request for help. Step 2, Maya doesn't even hesitate. She's a willing partner who runs right over to grab the other side. Step 3, they synchronize. They count 1, 2, 3, lift, and place the block right on top of the rocket ship. This isn't just playing around. This is complex, synchronized problem solving, and it culminates in mutual gratitude with a very sweet "thank you" and "you're welcome." Section 3. Handling the big wobble. Because, as we know, no epic adventure is without its crisis moment. Picture the scene for a second. Leo is stretching up on his tiptoes for a shiny yellow star decoration that's way up high on a shelf. He says, almost. And then, crash. Disaster strikes. A whole stack of paper cups tumble down onto the floor. It's this sudden, jarring disruption of their perfect play. And Maya's immediate physical reaction really says it all here. She gasps, and her shoulders visibly drop. The tension in the playroom is suddenly completely palpable. And this brilliantly illustrates a critical pivot point in early development. Just look at Maya's response here. She doesn't scream, she doesn't throw a tantrum, she doesn't point fingers or blame Leo. Instead, she says, "Oh no, I am sad. Our cups fell down." She is modeling healthy, crystal clear emotion naming. By articulating exactly how she feels and why, she completely diffuses the potential for meltdown and opens the door for constructive resolution. What we are witnessing here is a textbook prime example of emotional regulation. It's that vital ability to process a sudden negative event, manage the emotional reaction, and then transition from simply acknowledging sadness straight into proactive problem solving. And Leo steps up beautifully here. He immediately supports her, putting a comforting hand on her shoulder and reassuring her, "Don't worry, Maya, we can fix it together." He matches her emotional maturity with real empathy and an action plan. And this is exactly where the adult, or in this case, the adult figure, Barnaby the bear, acts as the perfect, gentle facilitator. Barnaby waddles over with a basket and asks a really simple guiding question. Can we clean up now? Notice he doesn't scold them for the mess. He smoothly transitions the kids from a moment of crisis straight into a productive, cooperative cleanup routine. And just like that, the cups are put away and Maya is smiling again. Crisis averted. Section 4. Making healthy snack choices. Having survived the crash, the explorers face their next developmental trial, setting boundaries. Barnaby brings out a picnic basket filled with colorful play food, and this entire scene acts as a masterclass in establishing and respecting personal boundaries. Look at the stark contrast in their sensory experiences. Maya absolutely loves the sensory feedback of her choice. She likes the carrots because they go crunch, crunch, crunch. But when Barnaby offers Leo a lemon, Leo actively rejects it. He makes a funny, squished-up sour face, shakes his head, and clearly states his boundary. No, I don't like lemons. They are too sour. In fact, to put that into perspective, if we were to graph Leo's palate in this moment, it might look a little something like this chart. He is absolutely 100% not interested in those sour lemons, maybe a 5% tolerance on a good day, but he is fully committed to the sweet red strawberries. And this moment where everyone giggles at his funny face, it reinforces that it is completely safe and totally acceptable to express your dislikes and set personal boundaries within this peer group. And Maya's reaction to Leo's boundary is just as important. She doesn't tease him or pressure him. Instead, she holds out a basket of strawberries and says, "Here is your turn to pick, Leo." This really simple gesture of offering him his preferred choice completely cements the theme of sharing, generosity, and building strong, respectful peer relationships. Leo even responds with, "Thank you, Maya. You are a great friend." Section 5. Time to go home. As the playroom clock chimes ding, dong, ding 3 times, we reach our final act. So the crucial point here is how they wrap up this entire experience. Maya gives Leo a high five and declares we built an amazing rocket ship today. This isn't just idle chatter, right? Reflecting on shared accomplishments is so vital. It builds individual confidence and it strongly reinforces the value of their collaborative effort. Leo totally agrees, noting how happy he is that they played together. They are cementing a really positive memory of their teamwork. Let's move on and see how this builds into their final transition out of the playroom. Notice that Barnaby doesn't just abruptly say, "Okay, time to leave." Instead, he uses a timeline of structured physical commands to ground the children. First, sit down, and they sit crisscross on the red rug. Then, stand up, and they jump up high. Finally, they wave goodbye. These physical cues actually help the children process that the playdate is ending, which allows them to transition smoothly out of a highly stimulating environment without feeling rushed or getting upset. We've seen how a heavy block becomes a lesson in teamwork, how fallen cups become a masterclass in emotional regulation, and how snack time establishes personal boundaries. By looking just a little bit closer, we see the incredible, vital work happening right there in the playroom. It leaves us with this final thought. How can we frame more of our everyday moments as these developmental micro-epics to truly empower the next generation of builders, dreamers, and explorers? Next time you see a cardboard box and a pile of blocks, remember, you might just be looking at a launch pad to the moon. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep exploring.